Mother Nature tried to shut us down. But anglers don't cancel. We adapt. So this year, we didn't just come back. We doubled down. For the first time ever, 2 iconic fishing shows become one massive event. 2 venues, double the size. And the best part, 1 ticket gets you into both venues. And we got a free shuttle service running all day between them. Muskie to Bass, iced open water, boats, tackle, seminars, guides, lodges, and the biggest brands in fishing. No storms, no limits. Just one of the biggest fishing events in North America. March 29th. Cancast Muskie Odyssey. 1 ticket, both venues, free shuttles. We'll handle the weather. Get your tickets today at cancastshow.ca.
Well, Danny, looks like we're back at it again.
You know, I'm sold. I'm going. Let's do it.
You know, Cancast is not a show that you have been to yet. I've had the privilege of being there. I think since it started. I will say it has been something that I have truly admired, watching this show grow from a little show to this massive event that's going to be happening this weekend on Sunday. And we're lucky enough to be joined with some folks that are going to be down at the show. One of the big ones, of course, is the show director, Carruthers. He'll be on shortly to discuss some of the new things and what to expect at the show. But Danny, just fresh back from the Toronto show. How are you feeling?
I'm still tired. That was an amazing show. I was fantastic. You know, I've been going for the last 4 years, and everybody that came in was such in good spirits. Everybody's having a great time, and I can see all of us are busy. It was good. We barely got to talk at all, so it was fantastic to go through that. But as I said, it is pretty tiring. But you know, just to kind of touch on Kyle's show coming up this weekend. I mean, yeah, it's come a long ways, and when I look at the lineup for the seminar speakers, I mean, there's such great people going there. I mean, it's an amazing lineup that, you know, I'm hopeful that I can come check that out one of these days and see a lineup like that. So,
100%. And the one thing, as I said, the Toronto Sportsman Show, lots of people walk through that door. One of the biggest differences, and we talked about this before we went live tonight. You'll get a lot of tire kickers down at the Toronto show. What you don't get at Cancast is tire kickers. They're all there to buy. You
have no time.
Yeah.
You got no time. It's wallet in hand. Let's go. So it's kind of, I'm actually anxious. I want to see that. You've seen that. So it like we were kind of making little comments somewhere. It kind of gives me the impression that it's like an auction kind of feel. So
it's actually, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, you're not, the cool thing that you don't see is people jumping from booth to booth, you know, seeing who's got the better price. Because at the end of the day, they're all there with a sticker price that you're going to want. You're going to want to buy it now. Because if you don't, there's 300 people behind you that are willing to grab it. And as I said, it is a buyer's market. It's a buyer's event. And the one thing that takes a beating every year is the ATMs. The ATMs are usually empty by noon.
I'm sure Brinks isn't that far away.
Well, one of these days he might have to do that. Kyle might have to bring in a Brinks truck.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let us bring in our co-hosts, which of course our good friends over at KBC and Kayak Bass Canada. We got Eron Dodds and of course Jason Brock with us. How you guys doing tonight?
Without further ado, let us bring in.
Great. How are you guys tonight?
Right on. We got an echo in the background. I don't know who's watching the show, but as much as we appreciate the views. Well, lads, lots to discuss. We want to get right to Kyle and talk about Cancast, but give us a little bit of an update on where KBC's at and where you two are headed.
Well, everybody knows Cancast this weekend. We're going to be there. There's no chance we're missing it. We're going down with Frontenac Outfitters. Zach always shares a booth with us, which we're blessed to have. Jason's going to be joining us, Remy Kerouac, Jay Brown from Team Bonafide. There'll be some Jackson guys, Bonafide guys, Bending Branches reps, Yak Attack reps. So there's going to be a slew of kayak fishing guys in the booth this weekend.
Right on. We're going to talk a lot more about KBC and the events, including Cancast that's coming up. But we want to, without wasting any more time, because I know he's busy as a show director. I know the amount of pressure that he's under right now and all the fires that he's trying to to put out. So let's bring in the one and only Kyle Carruthers. And before we do that, let's take another look at one of the wonderful ads that he's put together.
This isn't just a fishing show. This year, Cancast is leveling up. For the first time ever, Cancast and the legendary Muskie Odyssey are joining forces. 2 iconic shows, 1 massive day. And we're doubling in size. Taking over the Peterborough Memorial Center and the Kinston Civic Center with free shuttle service between the venues. From Muskie to Bass, iced open water, seminars, guides, lodges, boats, tackle, the tackle swap, and the biggest brands in fishing. This isn't just bigger. This is one of the biggest fishing events in North America, March 29th. Cancast Muskie Odyssey, 1 ticket, both venues, be there. Get your tickets today at cancastshow.ca.
Boom. Well said. Jeez, I tell you, if we could only have Kyle here to tell him how good of a job he did. Oh, there he is. How you doing, Kyle? Great to have you, bud.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on. Pretty stoked.
It's a pleasure. And on behalf of Dan and I, we want to welcome you to the show again. This is probably the 4th time that we've had John Kyle, if not, at least.
Yeah, I think I've come on. Yeah, I think I came on the last 4 years. So it was our 5th year anniversary in Peterborough, which is pretty cool. And I think it's shaping up to be a pretty big one. So it's pretty awesome. I hope I have lots of nasty emails in my inbox Monday, just people complaining about parking, because that means we had a good show, because that's what usually happens when it's busy. So
one of the coolest things that a lot of folks may not understand unless they are Muskie followers or they're part of the Muskie community, of course, is you've teamed up with Muskies Canada, and the Muskie Odyssey, which has always been a well-attended show, all of a sudden landed in your lap. And this opportunity you took without any hesitation and have managed to secure a second venue, another building. So like the footprint of this show has doubled in size.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Actually, so we've been working on this since before last year's show. I actually approached Muskies Canada, and it was pretty awesome. So this all kind of worked out. It was lots of discussions. I had meetings with the mayor of Peterborough to get the second venue, like all sorts of stuff, how to get ice out of it, hockey associations, mad at us, all sorts of fun stuff. Took us like 6 months to get it together, but it came together. It's been honestly awesome working with those guys. Joe and Jeff over there at Muskies Canada have been a huge help, and really pulled their weight. When I took this on, I kind of thought like, hey, we're gonna be me managing a lot of stuff, but no, man, like Jeff, they put a general manager in for the Odyssey guys. He's dealt with all his vendors, and he's just been absolutely amazing. So it's been a really cool partnership, and I'm hoping it's something we can continue after this year. Like, it's not really something we're hoping to do once, but we'll see what happens. We've just both parties have said, let's get through Sunday and talk Monday. So
right on.
See where it goes. But yeah,
Aaron,
it's gonna be cool.
How many years has KBC been involved in this event?
This will be our 3rd year. We've done 2 years, so it's been it just gets better every year. We have the same location, so people know where to find us. I really like that about this show. And Kyle's been an amazing host. Everything's been so seamless. This is going to be an amazing show this weekend, so you guys don't want to miss it. Trust me, it's going to be bigger, better, and more exciting, no doubt.
100%. Jay, what do you like about this show? You've been there a couple years yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle's done a great job. Congratulations, Kyle, on what you've done with Cancast and how you've branded it, and the podcast and everything else. I mean, the awareness of the show is incredible, and we're happy to be a small part of it. What I love about it is it's fishing. It's exclusively fishing. Like, yep. There's no guy selling fire starters or dock fenders or composite wood for a dock. It's just guys selling lures, bait makers, manufacturers, you name it. Who's who in the fishing world is there. And I think it's highly concentrated. I like the one day. I like, some guys want to have 2 days, but I think one day is perfect. You get guys bringing all their money to one day. They spend all their money on one day, and I think it's great for the vendors. So I hear vendors, spend a year preparing for this. Some of the small bait makers, and Kyle, you hear the stories more than I would, but I know some of the bait makers that sponsor KBC work tirelessly, wham baits, limestone, jacked up jigs. They'll spend a year just preparing for this one show. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like their Super Bowl, it's like something
yeah,
that they really look forward to. And we can't do the show without the vendors. So we like really look at them as partners. Like it's always been about like, hey, we got to keep the show as affordable as we can. I haven't raised my prices in 3 years, even though we all know what the world's doing. Everything's going up. But we're like, hey,
yeah.
the vendors are the vendors. I probably get a little too upset more about the ice storm than anybody because everybody still had a good show. I just made sure that we held everybody's booth price to make sure that everybody could come back, knowing we're going to have a better show this year. And it's been good, but the vendors are absolutely phenomenal. They come, they bring the A game. Lots of them, even the ones that did Sportsman Show, held a ton of inventory back for this one or bringing exclusive deals. They didn't bring the Sportsman Show for this one because they know it's a retail show. They know everybody's here for their wallet. They're going to buy. Scottie said it earlier, like I'm calling the ATM machine guys this week. I was like, you guys need to put more machines. And they're like, I'm like, do you guys want to make money or not? Like put 6 in there. And it's funny because the cash machines, like we empty them everywhere, the convenience store across the street, this, that. So my advice to Cancast for can casting is always bring cash, especially if you're in the tackle swap side or, some of the musky guys are going to be cash only and stuff like that. But cash is always king. So, and it is a legal form of currency. So bring it.
I like the affordability too. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't cost much to get into this event, and the deals are incredible. The vendors, I mean, I love that you pressure the vendors to come with deals. So
Yeah, for
the
sure.
vendors bring the deals, and if you get in early and you get to the booth that you want to see, you're going to get a great deal on whatever it is you're looking for.
Yeah, and what's cool about it is like our ticket price is basically $20. There's a couple promo codes out there, like you could use FXR26, MNR, save a couple dollars. Of course, there's the tax and the $2 Ticketmaster fee. But at the end of the day, you're in this show for like $24 or something. That gets you into everything. Both buildings, Odyssey, free shuttle, all the seminars on both sides, you name it. It's a pretty cheap day for $24 to go have a good time. Gets you entered in to win all the draws. And what's cool about it is we only raised our ticket price $2 over last year, and the Muskie price actually came down $5. And Odyssey was always $30. So like, what an awesome thing if you were a guy that came to either show, like you're winning. It's not like we did 2 shows, $40 ticket. It's like, let's keep it somewhere that makes sense. So it's pretty awesome. I think everybody's winning that way. The consumers are going to have a good time. I think it's pretty fair price for what we're going to put on and what we're giving and the amount of free stuff we give away. And, the first couple hundred people in line get free baits, and there's always free stuff going around, especially if you're a kid. Kids clean up at this show. It's absolutely insane. They do. It's wild. So, we're looking forward to it. I don't want everyone to think, hey, there's Kyle Carruthers. He's a hype man every year. He's yelling and waving his arms around, doing a video. This is the biggest one we've ever put on by like a long shot, like literally double in size. It is literally, I would say, the best vendor list we've ever had as far as quality vendors go, quality product, quality baits. And I think this is going to really blow the socks off people. Even if you went to the Sportsman Show, this is a completely different feel, like a completely different atmosphere. So
That's awesome.
Kyle, how I know you have 2 venues. How are you getting people from one venue to another? Are you offering a service?
yeah, so we're offering free shuttle service. It'll be at the front of each venue. We have 4 or 5 of them, going all day. So the venues are about 6 minutes apart. But you got to think with 5 shuttles, like 6 minutes, like they're going to move. Like there's no waiting 15 minutes for a shuttle. It pulls up, you get on. I don't care if it's 6 people or 60 people. That bus moves. Next one's going to be 2 minutes behind it. You know what I mean? They just keep going. So we're not looking at like a long wait for that. Of course, you can drive over to the other venue, whatever you want to do. I'd recommend just jumping on a shuttle, honestly. I wouldn't want to have to try to park my car again. I think both venues are going to be equally as busy. We know those musky guys are crazy. The tackle swap's also over in that Odyssey of 85 tables. We know that's going to be crazy. So I would probably jump on a shuttle if it was me. And I think the biggest problem guys are going to have is where to start. We want to start at that building and see what's in the swap in the Odyssey first, or do we want to go to the Memorial Center where we know like all the big retailers are for the best deals? A lot of the Canadian bait makers are going to be, guys like Wham and Limestone and all that, Jeff Jigs. Like, where do we want to start, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the problem. But what's really cool about Cancast this year is you can easily spend a full day there now, not just 2 or 3 hours. Like it can be an all-day thing.
Now, I downloaded this video more so for Danny than anybody else, but anybody that hasn't been to Cancast, and you did a podcast, I believe, with the Average Ontario Angler. And I think this is very good for anybody who has never been to Cancast, how one does Cancast.
if it was me, I would be going by every single booth slowly, talking to every single vendor, and it is amazing like what you will like find out, the knowledge you will get on their product, the deal they will offer you from talking to them that they weren't advertising, stuff you learn, the fishing spots you hear about, and it's just all about how do you experience it.
With that being said, Danny, I'm sure you've got a question, so I don't want to steal all the time.
No, I'm good. I mean, I'm enjoying everybody's got to ask, especially with the experience. Like I've been wanting to go for about 3 years from now, and unfortunately, I'm going to blame Kyle on this one. It just doesn't line up on my calendar, so it's all in his fault. But I'm actually one of our pro staff, Jamie Pastilli, who's heavily involved in the muskie world as well. He messaged me. He's going to go, and we've been talking. So I'm going to say there's a slight chance that I might make it. I got a dinner date with my kids in Sudbury on Saturday, but it's only 3 hours from there. So we're gonna see. It's one of the things that I've been really, and I gotta get my hats off to you, because one of the reasons why I'm really interested in going this year is this actually to go see Tom Wynn. I mean, I'm a big NWT fan, and that guy's just phenomenal. And then you've obviously got Jay Siemens and everybody else, and Ashley and Pam and stuff like that. So people that I already know. So you got a great seminar lineup that I'm really impressed with.
Yeah, the seminars were just absolutely crazy this year. Like we've always had great seminar speakers, and Nick Kuzvis, he's came back every year. He's just a staple. We'll never not do a Nick seminar. He did electronics last year, so this year he's going to do tackle setup. But he's one of the best smallmouth anglers, arguably in the country. Tommy Wynn though is going to be just something else. If you're in the like electronics, live scope, this is your guy. Like he is one of the best at it. He goes all over doing seminars on it. And then I think the Bob Azumi Jay Simmons one is going to be really cool. Like you got like generational iconic Bob Azumi, and then new YouTube sensation Jay Simmons. They're going to be really cool. And then the women's panel, like phenomenal anglers. Like don't miss that one because you think it's about like women getting into fishing. No, like these women are sticks, man. Like they will teach you something, trust me. And they're amazing speakers, all of them. And that was one of our best attended ones last year, was the ladies panel. And we actually got lots of emails like, please bring the ladies back. Please bring the ladies back. So that's really cool. So we're really excited about it. I know a lot of them are going to be standing room only, which is really cool. But yeah, definitely pick a seminar. And then the Muskie guys, they have some amazing speakers too on their side at the Odyssey. So it's definitely going to be like, where do we go? Right. So it's going to be really cool. But you're saying, Danny, like Sudbury, it's amazing. I can see where the tickets are all coming in from and people's postal codes and stuff like that. And it is absolutely wild how, like where everyone's coming from. I actually got an email today. A family's flying in from Halifax to see the show. They're coming to Peterborough just for the show because they've heard so much about it and they love fishing. We got people coming in from Saskatchewan. We got a guy booked his flight from Japan that emailed us to come in and see it because he wants to get some Canadian tackle. Like they come from all over. Sault Ste. Marie, Cornwall. Lots of guys come from Sudbury, North Bay way. Lots of guys coming in from like New Liskeard and Timmins, and like they're coming. You cannot get a hotel room in Peterborough right now. It's not a joke. Like you cannot find a hotel room right now in Peterborough. So it's going to be a good time.
Good problem to have. Really good problem to have. And Dan, Kyle, I have to ask the question because I'm and Moose isn't here to back me up or say yes. Make sure you ask him this question. With all of this stuff going on, with it having more than one building, you have two separate venues, all of the speakers, all the presentations, all of the incredible stuff to see. Do you ever see yourself going to a 2-day show?
I got no idea, honestly, Scottie. I can't get the venues for 2 days as of right now. So, unfortunately, the world revolves around hockey, and Peterborough Pete's like the arena. So, I will never say never. It just depends. We'll do a survey with the vendors, but the problem is we do 2 days. It not only doubles my expenses, it doubles the vendor expenses, right? I have to charge more for the booth because the rent's double and vice versa and this and that. You know how it works.
Yep.
I don't want to say no because I don't know what it's going to hold. We might very well hit the moment after 5 years after this show that, okay, we need 2 days, right? I don't know what that looks like. I don't want it to be like a fast day one, all the deals gone, slow day two. I don't know. There's a lot of optics and a lot of things to look through and how this would look. It comes up every day in conversation with people. I would say it's 50-50 on the vendor front, who want two and who want one. So yeah, I will never say never to anything because I never thought I'd be hosting the Muskie Odyssey as part of our show either until last year's simple phone call, which was a funny one, made that happen. And then here we are. So here we are.
I'm not 100% sure how this question starts, but I certainly understand how it ends. I have many large items pre-purchased. Well, that's awesome to hear that you're already products are being purchased and this show hasn't
Yep.
even started yet.
Yeah, no problem. You have in and out access. When you guys come in and get your ticket scan, we'll wristband everybody, and you can go in and out all day, either venue. So
That's
no
awesome.
problem.
Right on.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
I have a question for Kyle. We all know the show is going to be loaded full of killer venues. There's so much stuff that the place is packed. Everybody's moving. You barely have time to talk to guys when you bump into each other because it's such a high energy, high paced venue. One of my favorite parts about ICAT or Cancast every year, sorry guys, is the social.
Yes.
That's something that everybody talks about after the show. You don't see it posted a lot, but there's guys I ran into the social at that I never had a chance to talk to at the show because it's too busy and everybody's got their game face on. Kyle, where is the social this year? What time does it run to? And are you going to be stopping by to hang out with us all?
Oh yeah, no, I'll be there for a bit for sure. I do enjoy the social. It's something I kind of brought over. I used to run a motocross magazine, and we always did a huge social for the industry before the Toronto Supercross. So I was like, hey, why not do one before Cancast, right? And that's just became like a legendary night. And it's at Shoeless Joe's this year. Starts at 6 p.m. They're shutting down the restaurant for us, as in, just say you're there for Cancast. Everybody's welcome. And they're going to be staffed up and ready. It's going to be a great night, great crowd. We got some cool awards to give away to a few deserving people that have helped with the event, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I try to set curfew. If anybody sees Sean McCall in there after 1 a.m., please get him home to bed because he needs to be at the venue early. He's running the second. He's running the second venue. But it's funny, man. The amount of messages I had. One guy messaged me last week, and he was a vendor at the show, and he goes, Kyle, I just did my taxes for my business for my year end, and I had a $678 bill from the social, and it was all shots. So you know what I mean? So it's coming. It's a good night, and it's a lot of fun. Well, you want to just come have dinner and leave before it gets too rowdy, or if you want to stay till 2 a.m. when it gets to leave
So
and
much
rowdier, it's all there. Moose is going to be there DJing and doing all the good stuff he does, and he's just a staple at our event. That guy. So I was at his house this morning picking up some banners, and he's pretty excited, which is cool. Like, see, he was pretty pumped, which, if anyone knows Moose had a busy year, a lot of stuff going on, and, his shop problems and burning. He was like in a really good mood today. I think he's pretty excited for the weekend, which is cool. So
Kyle, did you get a new blazer for the social? Because you rock a really cool blazer last year.
you know what? Every year I've had a custom one made, and this will be the first year I will not have one.
No.
The old lady down the street that made them for me is no longer doing it. She's retired from it, and she didn't want to do it, and that's okay. I'm gonna go a little more casual, and let some of the other guys' outfits shine. Mark and Sean have a theme they're doing. I'm not going along with it. I'm staying out of it, but they're gonna be dressed up into something. So
Sounds good.
And
All right.
it's funny, Kyle. I think about all of the aspects of your show that you have and all the things that you've added along the years. I would be wrong to say that this isn't probably one of the largest North American fishing shows, but
Yep.
it's because of everything that it encompasses. You talk about the social, you talk about the presenters, you've got Muskie's Odyssey down there, you've got Tackle SWAT. You literally have everything that a show could possibly want in order to be associated and to be a successful event. Outside of tweaking a few things, I don't even know what you could add to this show at this point.
Honestly, I don't know either. Like, it's crazy the amount of vendors that approach us that we actually say no to, that just aren't fishing vendors. Even if it's like kind of hunting outdoor, I still say no. A lot of people don't understand that, but I really want to keep it fishing, like keep it into its roots. I think the only thing we could ever have better would be one venue to fit it all. As you're saying, if you take all the square footage of 3 ice pads, the lobbies, the seminar areas, the boat yards outside, like the square footage is huge. It literally is one of the biggest fishing shows in North America. If you took all the square footage, but I kind of think like the 2 venue thing, the shuttle, I think is going to be a lot of fun. Like, why not? Right? We got lots of food this year. We got food trucks at both venues, which is going to be really cool. Restaurants open inside. But I'm just really excited. Like, I hope people really enjoy the experience of seeing both venues, and I really hope those Muskie guys have a great show, which I think they will. But yeah, I don't know like what the next thing is to add other than a second day, Scottie. So it's I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. You know, it's I've spent a lot of nights up this year thinking about this one, mainly because I was so, you know, upset with how last year turned out, which was still a great show, but it definitely didn't go to the scale it should have been with that ice storm. But I know when a show is about to hit. I know when the buzz is real. The buzz is real on this one. They're coming. The crowd's coming. I have sold astronomically more tickets than I ever have pre-sale to an event, and we still have a couple of days to go. So with most people buying at the door anyways, I think we're going to be in really cool, really good shape. Really good shape. So
just about everybody over the weekend there, you're talking to you in the booth, and you're talking to them and selling products to them, and the first thing they ask is, are you going to be at Cancast next weekend? So that buzz was carried through all weekend just with just about everybody, and it's just been building up all week long. So I think,
yeah, for sure.
For a good turnout.
No, it's cool. And like the Sportsman Show is such a great event. And me and Mike, we're good friends. We actually used to work together, who runs the Sportsman Show. And like, there's definitely a way for both of them to coexist. Like it's a whole different vibe. You know, we don't want to be the 4-day Sportsman Show. I'm never going near Toronto ever. You know, we just want to have a different vibe, a different feel. And that's what it is. You know, it's not going to be the big, huge, fancy booths. You know, a lot of the manufacturers bring something a little smaller scale because it is one day. Doesn't mean the deals are any, you know, worse than that. If anything, they're better. But that's what it is. It's a high energy party day. And, you know, we do a lot of stuff different there. And we have like everybody's coming from, it's literally wild. Everybody is coming. We have a lot of like, you know, Mike Harris Jr., the Minister of Natural Resources. He's coming. Like there's just all sorts of different people it's on the radar now. They're all coming out of the woodwork, right? You know, the celebrities, whatever you want to call them. Like everybody's messaging me trying to get there. Big Jim's coming. He gave me a message today. He's coming. I'm always excited to have Big Jim because he's a staple. He's been at the show. And
is it your birthday, Kyle? Is this your birthday?
No, not me.
I think who's
Tony's.
Is it Tony's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony's, yeah.
Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah. But Big Jim has been a supporter of our event since the beginning. Like literally since the Boneville tackle swap days. He's always been there. So we're really excited to always have him back and watch him hanging out. So it's going to be good, guys. We got an echo, I think.
Yeah,
somebody's got
their monitor on.
He's always been there, so
they turned it off before. It's either Jay or Aaron.
Not me. I only have my phone on.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Sorry, guys.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's I want to kind of get back to how do you Cancast, and you know what? Just because it looks like, hey, this vendor has a small 10-foot booth. Don't just blow by them, and like you got to go in and talk to these guys. Like they are all full of a world of knowledge, right? Like doesn't matter what species you're going for, whether you're going for walleye, bass, trout, muskie, whatever. Every vendor is full of knowledge. You can learn so much in this day if you do Cancast properly. Like ask a guy, how do you make these baits? Why did you make it? How'd it go? Where do you fish? Like all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're in a 10-minute conversation about great things. And these vendors love it. Like there is just so much knowledge in this room, in these buildings that's going to be there this weekend. Like you're crazy if you blow through this show. So I would, run around, get what you need, get your deals, go back, hit it again, talk to guys, like talk to everybody because there is so much knowledge from some of these bait makers, pro staff guys, manufacturers, all these guys doing seminars. They're hanging out for the whole day. Like after the seminar is done, like they're in a booth. Go see them, go talk to them. Bob Azumi will be there. He'll talk to you for an hour if you let him. You know what I mean? So it's going to be really good. But that's what I want to tell people is, don't rush out of there. Hit your building. You go hit the next building, come back, catch a seminar. Like you can just ride that shuttle all day. So,
Kyle, you touched on a great point there. Actually, when you come sell the bait manufacturers, I mean, they talk to more anglers than anybody else because they're trying to make a bait that everybody wants to buy. So they tend to have more knowledge than everybody else. Really, they get that insider scoop usually. So.
For sure. Like I'm a big swim jig guy, so I always go through the show talking to all the guys about, different swim jigs and stuff like that. But it's awesome, man. Like I honestly, like these vendors are my friends. Like they really are. Like, and that's why we do it. There's days where I literally, and Scottie and me have had this conversation. I smash my head on this desk. Like, why am I doing this? Like months and months, like 8:00 at night, I'm up here. I'm not hanging out with my family. I'm spending every Sunday up here working on it in my office to hang out with my family. But when I get together with these people and I see like how important this event is for them, not just for me, how important it is for them, it truly puts a smile on my face, and I absolutely love it. And like this shot here, the kids high-fiving, like how awesome is that? Like everyone's just having a great day. Like it's so cool. You got Smash there on the grill, and just that's what it is. Like even in an ice storm, we had a great day last year, and that's pretty cool. And I think this is going to be something special. I don't want people to get worried that it's going to be too busy. Don't go. Yeah, the first couple hours are going to be mayhem. But if you want crowds on your things, come a little bit later. Honestly, some of the best deals are at the end of the day. This is the last show of the season for a lot of these guys. They don't want to box it up. They want it gone. So make some offers for sure.
Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself, but you have that going for you, Kyle. This is one of those shows that I can truly say it is not a tire kicking session. Folks go there with a wad of cash, and whatever they don't bring with them, they're able to farm out of an ATM or three. Make sure you do go there. Make sure you empty out the back seat, maybe the trunk. Get the bed, emptied as well. Make sure you got lots of room because there is going to be lots of stuff available for purchase. And as Kyle said, they would rather it be purchased so that they don't have to take it home.
Exactly. They don't want to box anything up and they don't want to store it. So, dude, let's make some offers. So, and
100%.
just cash is king, guys, but 90% of the vendors take debit and Visa as well. They all got machines. And as long as the power doesn't go out, knock on wood, we'll have Wi-Fi. So all those machines should work.
Sounds awesome. Kyle, don't want to keep you too much longer, but does anybody have any other questions for Kyle before we let him go?
I'd like to say something, Kyle, on behalf of Kayak Bass Canada and all the other anglers that we're friends with and tied into. Thank you for all your hard work. I know I can imagine the amount of work you put into it every year. It's always top notch. So kudos to you and your team. But before you go, we do have a little bit of a treat. Kyle has given us a couple of Cancast tickets that we're going to draw right now before Kyle goes with some trivia. So Jason Brock's going to take over with a trivia question. It's a 2-part question, wins you 2 tickets to Cancast. So if you don't have your tickets, go get them. If you have tickets, give these to a friend, bring your dad, your cousin, your daughter, and let them experience what fishing is all about. So I'll let you give out the question, Jay, and you're going to comment in below, guys. And we have a guy watching. You only get to one guess, and you have to get both parts correct.
Oof.
All right. Which year did CFN first attend Cancast, and which year did Kayak Bass Canada attend Cancast? Two-part question, 2-part answer.
Wow. All right. Well, let's see.
Put your answers below, guys. We have somebody going to watch one guess per angler. And Kyle, thank you for giving us some tickets to give out on the show tonight.
No problem. I actually have a funny story about this because I remember a conversation I had with Eron the first year of Cancast. So I won't give any more detail away because it might ruin something for the trivia. But it's funny that this is the question because I remember this conversation clear as day. So, yeah. Any answers so far?
Yep. We would
can't be that, Gary. We didn't have Cancast didn't start until officially Cancast was 2023. Peterborough Fishing Show was 22. So
we've got a few guesses coming in here.
I see one that's come up.
I see one that's correct. Yeah.
He's a regular winner of a lot of things at KBC.
We'll drop a post later to make sure we have the right angler. We do have somebody on the outside watching to make sure that the person didn't guess twice or that they got the first person in line. So that was kind of nice to have those tickets, Kyle. Thank you. And we're going to see you first Saturday, then Saturday night for the social. And we all know the big day is Sunday. Gates open at 9
a.m. So yeah, get there, guys. Make the trip. I promise you, it's worth it. It's a good time, guys, honestly, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. Even if you don't have to buy a bunch of stuff, just the social aspect of it, talking to everybody, you're gonna have a good time. So I appreciate all your guys' support. I appreciate everybody that's bought a ticket, everybody that's coming. Appreciate you guys for helping us put in the spotlight. All the vendors that are listening to this, I appreciate all the work you guys do. You guys work just as hard to make sure there's product. You guys do such a good job too here on the CFN, and what you guys do with Kayak Bass Canada. That's always so cool that you're giving back to the industry, and I'm proud to know all of you guys and call you all friends. So thank you very much.
Kyle, I know I know what it feels like where you're at right now. I can't imagine with the size of event that you're dealing with, because I only know it from what Brad and I do. But take a moment, celebrating what you've achieved, because at the end of the day, dude, I think it's absolutely incredible. You've got a great team. Don't get me wrong. You have a great team that helped you get to where you are. But dude, every once in a while, it's always important to look from where you came from. And Bud, I think it's absolutely amazing to see this show grow to where it's gone. It's an accomplishment that you should be truly proud of.
No, I appreciate that. And everyone's asking me if I'm stressed out. And I'm not. I'm pretty calm, actually. We've done the work. We're ready. Let's rock and roll. And whatever happens, happens. Is there going to be some hiccups? Of course, there's going to be some hiccups. It's the first year of something new venue, all this and that. But we'll get through it. If we can do a show with what we did a show in last year, I ain't even worried about this one. We didn't have cell phones last year, talk to each other, nothing. So this is going to be good, guys. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, I'm going to get back to working here and getting vendor badges printed and pull a moose and stay up till 4 a.m. and email everybody. So
We'll see you Saturday,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Thanks,
yeah,
Kyle.
see you guys. Thanks. Appreciate you. Yeah, see ya.
We'll be right back with Eron and Jay right after a word from our sponsor. You know, it's always awesome to talk to Kyle before the show like this, because you know what, he does look very calm, he does look very relaxed, but truth be known, his heart's probably pounding a mile a minute. I know the anticipation, the anxiety that goes into something like this, and I'll tell you, the undertaking that he's gone to with this event this year. You have every right to be anxious and concerned because it's massive. But I will say it's going to be an honor to be a part of it. I'm still hoping to get my shift covered for Sunday so I can make it. But needless to say, there's going to be enough people to fill my spot if I don't make it.
No, nobody's going to fill your spot, Scottie. I know we're going to miss having you next door to us this year. So I hope you guys are back next year because you'll be sorely missed.
I appreciate that, Paul. And yeah, as I said, unfortunately, circumstances completely out of our control has led to us not being able to do that. As Kyle had mentioned, unfortunately, Moose had a horrific fire and it claimed a lot of our swag. So unfortunately, tables at the spring show and any other show, including Cancast, it just didn't make sense. And although it is a weekend off for some of us, it might be something that we're going to truly yearn for next year. So to your point, yeah, I could see us there next year without a doubt. We are honored to have you guys here as always, because this is where you live stream all of your great news, all your upcoming events, anything that you need to get to the masses when it comes to KBC and all kayak anglers. But I want to talk maybe a little bit about some of the upcoming events that you have this year. These sound like a lot of fun.
I'll let you take it away, Jason Brock. Before we go too far, I want to remind you guys that there is a Cancast pre-order for Frontenac Outfitters. It's 20% off all regular priced items.
Oh, wow.
The code is in the comments. Neil Marlowe's going to drop it right now. We meant to mention this before Kyle left. We're going to have a 20 by 20 booth with Frontenac. You guys order your stuff now. You go to the checkout. You choose pick up at Cancast, and you're getting 20% off and free shipping. So, sorry, Scottie, we forgot to mention that, but I want to make sure guys get their first pick on the gear that's in inventory, and that guys can pick it up for free at the show.
Awesome stuff. Thanks,
As
Neil,
for
doing
this
that.
season, I'm going to let Jason Brock take it away.
Right on.
Can you guys hear me okay? I'm having some audio problems. I've had to kind of check out of the show and come back in. So can
You're
you hear me
good.
okay? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll go here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have 4 live, 4 online events this year. You'll see them. Scottie's got them posted here. It's our regular CHIO, which is, just a fantastic event for Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. We're back again at Water and Dirt. I think it's our 3rd year running that event for that festival, which is a fantastic festival. Lots of great stuff going on there. Our 2nd year, Big Bass Smackdown. We're changing that a little bit from a 2-day to a 1-day. And so stay tuned for more details on that. And then, of course, in September, we've got our Unity, which is our friends at Team Brother Fishing. We get together in a 2-man team event, and we are going to be in Quebec this year. We do a home and home every year, and this year it's going to be in Quebec. And hopefully we got a lot of KBC and Ontario kayak anglers or anybody outside of Ontario to represent Ontario, and we'll fish up in Quebec, and the Quebec Team Brothers team will bring their team. So it's a great time. You can if you don't have a partner, you can pick one from Team Brothers, or you can find one who's a kayak angler. You just have to register as a 2-man team. So if you're looking for somebody and you don't know anybody, reach out to Aaron or I, and we can help set you up with a
For
partner.
sure. Yep.
You guys, being from the kayak community and being at the Toronto Sportsman Show this past weekend, Danny, you can attest to this too. I would have to say that the fishing community and the industry as a whole has really embraced kayak fishing. The amount of stuff that is associated with kayak, some of the add-ons, some of the DIYs that you can do now with kayaks, they're really targeting your community. It speaks to how it's growing. But can either one of you talk to that? That must be quite an accomplishment and something that you're truly proud of, to see a lot of the industry being geared towards kayak anglers.
Yeah, kayak fishing is growing. I mean, it's one genre that's moving forward and expanding quickly. I think a lot of it's just about the ease of use, the feasibility, leaving a smaller footprint. There's a lot of things about kayak fishing that I gravitate to, and I think a lot of other people are starting to, as they experience, what other people are doing. They see the clubs, they hear the stories, going to places like Cancast, where we can give the local communities and media some exposure into kayak fishing. And it's about the camaraderie. I mean, the people, the whole idea of quietly fishing in your boat. Manufacturers see it growing. They're making better gear, and it's just evolving. It's evolving so quick.
100%. Jay, as I said, you've been a kayak angler for a number of years as well. Seeing some of the add-ons, seeing some of the features, the technology, and the advancements that are being made for a kayak angler and those who are kayak anglers, it must be a proud moment for you to see this much attention being paid towards kayak anglers.
Yeah, I think that's why I do what I do and how I volunteer here at Kayak Best Canada. For me, it's not about competing anymore. It's not about winning. It's about growing the sport and seeing people get into a kayak. I get way more joy out of getting someone into their first kayak and helping them rig it out and pick out their gear and helping them get a discount from one of our sponsors like Frontenac Outfitters. And so I get really jazzed up and fired up about that. And then if I can even get on the water with them and fish with them, that's even better. And so, we have guys like that have the same passion that I do in our club. There's dozens of guys in our club that have the same passion that I do. And it's intoxicating. You want to fish with them. You want to get with them. You want to look at how they're rigging their boats. And it's not a pride thing. It's more of just a passion, a pursuit more than anything else. And you get out there and you catch some fish, and it's high fives and pumps and a beer afterwards. And it's a really good group of guys. It's a great community that we're a part of. I've competed in many sports in my life. I've been part of clubs at a high level, athletics, and there's nothing better than what I'm a part of right now. It's just a really cool community of people.
Dan, it sounds very similar to what you and I have experienced with the NOWT, and of course, the NCAA, the camaraderie, sitting down, congratulating somebody for their efforts, having a beer, this, that, and everything else. So I guess fishing at the end of the day, it all brings us together. It doesn't really not necessarily matter what we're fishing out of, but this kayak community, I know it's something that you and I have talked about with the NCAA, is bringing an aspect to it, to our event. And I'll tell you, after listening to all this tonight, it can't come fast enough.
No, and not necessarily just for the NCAA, but we're just having that availability, working with this platform in providing that we have a good area, we have a good location, we get set up, so we want to kind of help expand that. But I do have two questions for the boys, and I see we have a comment. That's one of the questions that David had asked. I thought that was a great question, and I was wondering if we could touch on that. And then the part two on that, do you see your kayak manufacturers making the adjustments that even I've seen? I'm not a kayak angler, but I've seen boats are getting wider and more stable. Are they targeting more for how anglers are adapting, or the gear that they're taking with them?
I think it's both, really. If originally a kayak was, just for getting from point A to point B, then fishing came to be a part of it. And as guys get more in depth and it evolves, you go from paddle to pedal to electric to, basic sonar to live scoping to carrying 2 rods on a back lake or 12 rods in a tournament. I think it's blowing wide open. I kind of look at it like skidooing. When we started, we were all on 250 lands, driving around the field in circles. Now we're on these 1800, supercharged machines. We're going 50 kilometers, staying at resorts. We got twin gas tanks. They're made for deep powder. I just feel like the sport is changing to just kind of give everybody an option to enjoy it at whatever level you want to enjoy the sport at. It's just blown right up.
Yeah, I'll add to that. There's a kayak for every body of water. There's kayaks for rivers. There's kayaks for portaging. There's kayaks for, pulling down cliffs and up cliffs to get to a special pond, remote pond. There's kayaks for every application. And so you really, when you're looking at a kayak or you're looking at getting into the sport, you got to really look at the kind of bodies of water that you think you're going to fish, and get the kayak that you think's that's made for that. There's lightweights, there's heavyweights, there's big water kayaks for the St. Lawrence or Lake Ontario. So there's an application. The manufacturers of kayaks have really stepped up their game, and they have many platforms for anglers to get the right kayak for the right body of water that they're going to be fishing.
100%. Gary's brought up something that I was going to ask, because I started to see it show up in my news feed quite a bit, but they come out with a kayak that has jet propulsion. And I was interested to hear both your takes, being, I would say, pioneers to the kayak community and the growth of the kayak community here in Canada and Ontario. Do you see a jet propulsion unit as something that would be similar to that of live scope to those on a boat, or is it too much over the top?
I swear Scottie's reading my mind, because we're kind of thinking the same way here on this one.
I saw a version or a prototype from iCast last year. I wasn't at iCast, but I saw kind of a review on YouTube of a jet propulsion kayak. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I guess it's not much different than an electric motor. I really, what I really want out of a motor is a little bit of speed, but I really need the spot lock. The bodies of water that I fish are, there's aggressive currents in the St. Lawrence River, and I need spot lock to keep me on that hole. I'm not sure how a jet propulsion is going to do that. I don't know if it does. I don't know the technology well enough. To be honest, Scottie, I haven't spent enough time looking at that. Eron, do you have an opinion on that?
Not really. I'm the opposite of Jason. I want a motor behind me where it's not in my way casting, and I want it to get from point A to point B, back to point C. I go out in the morning, the lake is glass, and I come home and chop. And that, I want a propulsion unit, not a spot lock to keep me on a spot. So we're very different that way. I think the propulsion is kind of more along those lines. And at the end of the day, my opinion is if people want it and it's something they like and it's something they want to invest a very precious little bit of free time they have into, then by all means, I mean, good for them. Could I see myself with one? Maybe not. But it's definitely, again, goes back to that kayak fishing is evolving so fast. There's so many different things. Some things will stay, some things won't. We'll have to wait and see.
You kind of bring up a good point when we talk about the evolution of kayak fishing. I find kayakers are more accepting to that, where you have such a change in a short period of time. Like 10 years ago, how you guys have your kayaks rigged to where you are now seems to be like absolutely enormous. I mean, theoretically, you could have your jet drive and your trolling motor at the same time. And, right, as we see in the powerboat world, there's a lot more butting heads in that evolution. We seem to be more reluctant with that, so it's kind of interesting to see that there's two dynamics going in different directions, really, in my opinion.
I think what's encouraging and what I look at as a businessman is that there's a lot of money coming into our sport, and it's bringing new ideas. It's bringing new products to the kayak community and giving the consumer a lot more options. So it's really encouraging that kind of money is getting pushed into the sport, and I'm for it regardless.
Yeah, to each their own, right?
Absolutely. David, I would have to say, I'll pose it to both Eron and Jason.
That's
is the point of a kayak to enjoy the paddle. Do you guys even use paddles anymore? And I don't mean to be funny. I don't. Do you use paddles?
Scottie, I paddle all the time.
There you go.
Jason and I fish some of my favorite little spots together, and you don't take a trolling motor there, or your spot lock. These are, drag your boat through the ditch or a marsh, and it's rubber boots and 2 rods, and a paddle kayak is all you. Most of the time, I have a 3 horsepower Torpedo NAR rigged out for big water where Jason fishes. I fish it maybe twice a year, 3, 4, 5 times a year. The rest of the time I'm in my paddle kayak, like almost all the time paddling.
Because we've talked about it with you guys, the evolution of the power assist when it comes to kayaks, and you have the pedal drive, you've got the gear now with the pedal drive, you have the electronic pedal drive that now will it's almost like speed control, like when you put it on cruise, it stays at a certain speed. But from a boating perspective, and I think, Danny, this is where your mind was going as well. Do you see a point, like Live Scope has had such an effect on boat anglers? Do you see the technology perhaps getting to a point where it's going too far with kayaking? Are we losing sort of the grassroots approach of kayaking?
I don't really think so. I look at it kind of like motorcycle. There's guys like my friend Greg Linton that build motorcycles, old school, hand shift, bare bones, just to cruise. There's guys who want to go out and race on street bikes. There's guys on Harleys. Kayak fishing is whatever you want it to be. I mean, there's guys that want the biggest, newest, best boats. There's guys who want the lightest boats with 2 rods to jump into a back lake. So I think it really comes down to what the angler wants, and the more options, the better. A friend of mine always told me competition is good, and as long as all these companies are making different options, the sky's the limit for kayak fishing. It's whatever you want it to be, and I think that's where it should go and where it should stay, is wide open, and cater to everybody in all areas of kayak fishing. That's my opinion.
You guys have answered a lot of questions that I was kind of hoping you would answer in the direction that I wanted you to go, because it kind of answers one of my main theories behind all this here is when you look at the boating world and the tournament fishing world, just buying a boat far and exceeds what a complete fully rigged kayak's going to be, right? So
that's right.
All of a sudden we get a boat, we're rigging them with multiple lives and whatnot. It always comes down to that financial point, and I find a lot of people, not all, but a vast majority, will try and hide the fact that it's just a lot of money with other excuses. And I find with the kayak world, everybody I talk to, they seem to not pay attention to that. It's more about the evolution of it all. So it's kind of refreshing for me to hear all this kind of information, because you guys aren't so concerned about the lives and the propulsion and whether Buddy's got a 12-foot kayak and I only got an 8-foot kayak. So
Doesn't matter.
for myself, it's refreshing to hear. I thought that's what I'm kind of get at.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
it can be as much as you want it to be, or as little.
From a competitive situation too. I mean, I've seen guys who have a Canadian Tire kayak beat a guy who's got all the technology
Absolutely.
and all the motors.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, your angling skills are gonna come to the surface. In any whether you're in a boat, when you're in a tinner, or whether you're in a kayak or you're in a paddleboard.
That's right.
The hammers are just going to catch fish, and they're just more experienced on the water. They know where to go. They know what to look for.
Yeah.
They know what looks fishy, and they go to those places. And so, a lot of times I think we try to mask our inability to fish with technology and other things because we think it's going to help. But I think all you really need to do is just get a kayak and get on the water and fish. Spend time on the water first, then start adding the other things to augment your skill level.
I kind of go back to it as a home improvement show. We watch a home improvement show and I can do that. We go buy the tools and realize, I don't have the experience to do that. Not that you don't theoretically have the know-how, you just don't have the experience behind it. So
that's a great example. Perfect example.
It is.
We see a lot of guys.
I'm going to take the credit and be happy, and we're just going to stop.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, as always, it is always a pleasure to have KBC on here, and of course, all of your members who watch and leave great comments. The interaction during our lives when you guys are on is truly incredible. I love the support that you get from your members. These are your events upcoming for the year. Some great events that folks, if you aren't familiar with KBC or kayak fishing and you want to get into it, these are some great entry-level events that you can get your feet wet, as they would say. But this weekend, it's all about Cancast, and of course, KBC is going to be there with Frontenac Outfitters. Gentlemen, as always, it has been a pleasure. It always is a pleasure to share your time, and I want to wish you guys a great weekend and a great upcoming year, and we look forward to the next podcast with you.
Thanks, guys.
Any last words, Jay and Eron, before we let you go?
How much time do we have left, Scottie? Because we have a lot to unpack about our season this year, and we've gotten into an hour already. Do we want to go to another show, or do we want to let the cat out of the bag? Because Jason and I have our whole format to unpack. Do we want to? Do we want to
show?
Do we want to leave it for another show, Jay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Days from now, so.
Absolutely, because we need to fill in. We're going to have Christian De Silva. We'll have Trevor Barnews come on. We've got a lot of other upcoming guests as well, but we'd love to have you guys back because, as I said, it's always great. The time with you guys is a lot of fun, and the interaction with all the members and folks that chime on is incredible. So, yeah, I'd love to save this show if we could. That'd be great.
Yeah, parting words for me is, thank you, CFN. We're honored to be partnered with you and have your logo on everything that we do. And it's an exciting time for us in KBC. We've got a big year ahead of us in 2026, and we're going to launch a new format that we think is going to change the online scene in Canada. And so, Eron and I will debrief and we'll talk about how we're going to launch that. But thanks again, guys. And we appreciate this. And, anything we can do to help you guys promote or help you with the fire or anything like that, whatever's, this is the first I've heard that you guys had some issues. So if there's anything we can do or anything we can help with, please let us know. We'd be happy to help you guys recover whatever's going on. So maybe we can talk about that offline.
Appreciate it.
Sure. And any of you guys that don't have your tickets yet, get them. Cancast is one of the highlights of my fishing season. So if you don't have your tickets, get them. Please like and share the post from Cancast that Kyle and his crew are putting out, and help spread the good word and give thanks back to these guys who bring so much to the fishing community, like our friends at CFN, to grow the sport and to, as they say, keep Canada fishing.
I will say this, KBC, that your group, it brings great hope that there's still a reminder that there's good people out there. So great on you guys for building a great community and a great group of good people. We need a hell of a lot more of that in this world, I'll tell you. And on that, on behalf of Dan and myself, we bid you all farewell. thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you next time on the Power Hour.
Thanks, guys.